Hello and welcome to the fourth Penn Summer Chat session titled I Heart Philadelphia. My name is Evangeline Diaz. I'm the recruitment manager for the summer program here at the University of Penn. And I want to welcome you for joining us today. As a former summer student, there are a lot of great things and activities to participate in here in Philadelphia and here on campus. So our session is going to focus on some of the great things you can do in and around the Philadelphia area, some of the attractions that are available, and also what it's like to be a summer student here. So some of you are maybe local to the area and you're coming back home to fulfill some of your course requirements. Perhaps you're a visiting student. Some of you who are joining us today might be current Penn students who are taking courses, again, to fulfill some required courses. And some of you might be international students who are new to the area and are looking to explore something different and also fulfill coursework here at the University of Penn. There are so many reasons why you as a student should be excited about coming to the university in 2015. Some of you are familiar with the area, or maybe you're not so familiar, and today's session will sort of demystify all of the new and great things that you can do here in the summer. So what we'll be uncovering is what it's like to be a student here at the University of Penn, some of the great summer activities that are available both on and off campus. We'll be talking about best practices in terms of how to get around and how to be mobile in and around the city. And also, lastly, just how to make this summer the best summer yet for you as a summer student. So let's get started. During our session, you'll be able to text in any questions that you might have to the text number you see at the bottom of your screen, which is 267-332-1137. So do feel free to text in your questions at any time, and we'll be sure to answer your questions during this session. So for our first segment, we're just going to share a couple quick facts about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the largest city in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and it's also the sixth largest city in the United States. Philadelphia is also the second largest city with a concentration of students. There are about 120,000 colleges and universities in the Philadelphia area, which attract over 300,000 students regionally and nationwide. Philadelphia as a city attracts students far and wide, both domestically and internationally. And Penn's campus is at the epicenter of attracting high-achieving students, renowned faculty, artists, and scholars from around the world. Philadelphia really does have a small city appeal. So while it is one of the six largest cities, you really feel like it's a manageable city, like you're able to navigate pretty easily with all the amenities of a big city as well. So our students find that they're able to find different things, very unique places to eat, learn from other students, and really get to see the city in a way that they wouldn't be able to if they were in a large metropolitan area. It's a walkable city, and I'll be going over a little bit more later about the details on how to get around the city very easily and affordably as well. So let's talk about why you should spend your time in Philadelphia and at UPenn. Well, number one, some research is developing, and the New York Times has placed Philadelphia as number 3 as the top city to visit in 2015. So we're highly recommended. Philadelphia is getting recognized both far and wide. And to be ranked number 3 among all the cities in the world, I think is pretty amazing. So the next thing is that Philadelphia really has great attractions, museums, and a lot of historical settings. And in our segment today, we're going to go over how to find the best sort of resources to seek out what museums and what attractions to visit while you're here in the city of Philadelphia. Philadelphia, thirdly, is a very accessible city. So if you are new to the area and if you're interested in going to other cities such as Washington, D.C., or New York, or even Boston, our campus is very easily accessible to regional rail and the Amtrak system. It's very, very easy to get around. And thirdly, or my last point, is that Philadelphia has some really new attractions, such as our Philadelphia Bike Share, which is called Indigo. I was actually on campus the other day, and I can see the bike rails being set up as we speak, right on 36th Street. And it's a great way for students to bike around campus really affordably and be able to see the city beyond the university limits. Another great place to explore is called the Spruce Street Harbor. This is another area that is very new in the Philadelphia Harbor. And there are everythings from contemporary art installations, there are hammocks, there are picnic areas and water gardens, and all of this space is free and accessible. So it's also another great attraction to see while you're here. And again, this is something that I'll share with you in a few more minutes. So what I'd like to do at this point is help you find where you can show you where you can find some of these attractions on our summer website. So if you bear with me for one moment, I'm going to bring us to the summer page. So many of you have either already registered or you're thinking about enrolling in our summer program. And we have a specific section that's called Experience Philadelphia. And in this section, you will find a number of different attractions that suit various interests, whether you're interested in sports, you're interested in history, you're interested in museums, and just natural settings. There are a number of different options here, and many of these options offer reduced discounts to Penn students. So as you can see here, the first one, Citizens Bank Park. This is a great arena where our lovely Philadelphia Phillies play their baseball games. If you are a Phillies fan, you should definitely check that out. Morris Arboretum is actually a museum that is affiliated with the university. So one of the wonderful things about Morris Arboretum is that with your Penn ID, you can actually get in for free, which is great. Lastly here, the Fairmount Park. Fairmount Park is a great and very, very big park. It's one of the oldest municipally operated parks in the city. They're about 9,200 acres. And there's everything available from horseback riding to bike riding to trails. You can picnic. There are great sort of landmarks as well as artistic sites as well in Fairmount Park. For all of you who might be foodies or want to eat your way through the city, there are great opportunities to do that as well, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. The Italian market, one of the oldest markets here in Philadelphia, is a great way for you to explore some of the gourmet foods and sort of the everyday vendors in South Philadelphia, which is a great part of the city. And it's open 7 days a week. Secondly, we have Reading Terminal Market. This is actually located downtown in Philadelphia. I had the privilege of being able to take some of our international students to Reading Terminal Market last year, and they absolutely loved it. Reading Terminal is an indoor marketplace where you can find everything from cheesesteaks to ethnic foods to desserts, baked goods, anything you want and anything that you may be desiring in terms of food, you can find it at Reading Terminal Market. Another great thing about Reading Terminal is that it's very easily accessible to Penn's campus. So you can just hop on the train and it's about 3 stops downtown and you can easily walk there. Another great thing is that it is indoors, so you don't have to be concerned about weather permitting. You can just visit anytime during the year. One thing I will say about Reading Terminal is that it tends to get very, very crowded on the weekends. So your weekdays are probably the best bet. Let's scroll down here to the arts section. Philadelphia, it has some amazing museums and attractions in terms of new exhibits coming to the area. The Barnes Foundation, which is fairly new, is a great place to visit. And of course, the Philadelphia Museum of Art. This is probably the most popular attraction here in Philadelphia. If I'm going to recommend any of these, I would probably recommend the Philadelphia Museum of Art as your first stop, because not only is it a great opportunity for you to explore a very impressive exhibit of artwork, you'll also have great opportunities to do some photo ops and Instagramming as well. So I do highly recommend that as being your first stop. And lastly, in terms of historic centers and places of interest, we have several listed here. Independence Hall is definitely one of the highlights for many who are visiting the city of Philadelphia. You're able to really view where our Declaration of Independence and where our Constitution was signed and where our forefathers pretty much laid the groundwork of our country. And so it's amazing to be able to walk along those cobblestone streets and see some of the unique architecture. They also have folks who are in sort of traditional wares of the 1700s, and they really try and make it as historically sound as possible and really give you that experience that you're looking for, almost like you stepped into a page in history. The National Constitution Center is actually right across the street from Independence Hall, so it's actually 2 blocks over. So everything within within walking distance. So if you're at Independence National Park, you can walk to the Constitution Center, and it's a really, really great way to spend your afternoon. And a lot of folks do that. So I do recommend probably this area to be your second stop in terms of historic landmarks. So again, I do recommend you going to the museum and then stop by these 2 areas as well. Great. So it looks like we have a question here from one of our viewers. And the question is West Philadelphia safe? That is a very good question. West Philadelphia, like any other city, it requires students to, be as cognizant of their environment as much as possible. And I can tell you from taking courses in the summer session myself, and particularly courses at night, that being in West Philadelphia and being in University City is very, very safe. The Penn Public Safety Division takes our student safety very seriously. Whether you are a visiting student or a Penn student, that is something that is a very sort of important mission of the university, is to make sure that our students feel safe, make sure that they have opportunities to seek out assistance whenever needed. I can tell you that there are escort programs, which I've utilized in the past. It's called Penn Escort or Penn Walk. You can call this number, which is 898-WALK. And a Penn escort will escort you to any part of the campus or any destination that you wish. I've had opportunities to, find a police officer on the corner and say, hey, can you walk me to, the train station stop and wait with me on the platform? And they've absolutely done that. So they go really above and beyond to make sure that students feel safe. Another link that I'll share to you, which ties into the safety sort of concerns for a lot of our students and where you can find details on that, is our Penn Public Safety Division. So let's go there. If you can bear with me for 1 second. So from the main University of Penn website, we have a section that's called Life at Penn. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, you will find our Safety and Security Division. And if you click on that, there is a whole host of information here about what options are available to you, useful tips that you can read over as a Penn student, the Division of Public Safety, so special emergency numbers, access to campus phones. And then what's great is also this Transportation Services Center. Did you know that with your Penn ID, you can actually access a number of different shuttles and buses in and around the University City settings? And they go all the way up to 40th Street and all the way down as low as 19th Street in Rittenhouse Square. So the flash of your Penn ID as a summer student will give you access to a number of free shuttle buses and escort services are in and around campus. So this is a great place to find details on that. And just in general, that website, Life at Penn, is just a great website to resource about any activities as well. There are several. Another question was what public transportation is available within the city. There are a number of different options. As I mentioned, we do have Penn Public Transportation, which are actual buses and shuttle buses that are accessible in and around campus. And again, with your Penn ID, this gives you access to certain shuttle buses that go in and around the University City area. Another option that you can explore in terms of getting to different points perhaps that are off campus, such as that Spruce Street Harbor that I mentioned, or if you want to go to points downtown, the SEPTA line service, which is our train service, is very easily accessible. It doesn't cost that much, and you can certainly get passes and transportation sort of access in terms of coins or tokens, whatever you might need on campus as well. So very safe place to explore. I say one takeaway would be, you always want to use precautions when you're traveling around. So if you are taking public transportation, travel with a buddy. You always want to go to places that are well lit. Try and travel in places that are easily accessible to where you need to go in terms of drop-off points or accessibility points. And just try and use your personal judgment. I think that that's also key. So another site that I'd like to share with you in terms of attractions, which is a really cool site that you may not know about right now. Give me 1 second, I'll show you that. It's actually called You Wish You Knew. So this website is a really cool website where you can find events on the weekend, you can find deals, you can find information about nightlife and sporting activities, and you can toggle down to do filters by your dates of interest. You can do it by neighborhood. So for example, any of you students who are looking for events or attractions perhaps in the on Penn's campus, you want to look at this University City area. So let's click on that and see what pops up. So of course, right now, if many of you don't know, we just finished off our Penn Relays, which is an exciting track and field event. It's a historic event here at the university's campus, where thousands of track teams from around the country gather for a track and field race at our Franklin Field. So this is a very big attraction, lots of fun for a lot of students. Artisan groups and gallery openings, lots of free events. Definitely something to check out from here because there's tons of free things going on that you may not know about. Okay, so this is a great page to access. In terms of Philadelphia neighborhoods, as you can see here in this section, there are a lot. University section is probably one of the more popular, and that's where we are. So as a summer student, you can look into free attractions in University City. Another that, again, I do recommend is Historic Philadelphia. So that's where the National Constitution Center is and Independence Hall. Really, all of these areas are really, really great. Old City is another great part of Philadelphia. Just as a note, in the summertime, they do what's called First Fridays. So First Fridays is an opportunity for anyone and everyone who has an interest in art, whether it be modern art, classical art, and just has an interest in sort of local artisans. All of the galleries in Old City open up their doors and they offer a free exhibit to any of their patrons. And it's really, really attractive to not just students, but just locals in the area. There are great shops, great restaurants in Old City. So I do highly recommend that you take a look at that as well. Okay. So I want to get to a very common question that we get from a lot of summer students is that, you know, what is the first thing I should do when I come to campus? Well, one of the first things is you definitely want to get in touch with your advisor or have a sit-down session or a phone conversation with your advisor. Your advisor is really going to be helpful in making this summer experience the most memorable for you, not just in the classroom, but also helping you navigate the Penn community, helping you to navigate some of the resources that are available to you. And we have two advisors who are going to be working very closely with our summer students. That is Jacqueline Aldsworth and Jamie Kelly. And they will, you know, do their best to sort of shepherd you along the process and really make this experience a memorable one for you. The second thing that I do recommend that you do as soon as you land here on campus is to grab a campus map. Penn is a huge research institute, and there are about, oops, my picture is falling here. There are about 275 acres of university campus, so it's a very, very big campus, and there's a lot to see. We do have campus maps in our office, so we do recommend that you come by, ask for a campus map, and just really familiarize yourself with the area. It's also a great way, you know, to just show other students where they can find certain things. If you start to, you know, make new friends in the classroom, they say, let's meet at Houston Hall. You know where you're going and you know where to find it. So that's my second piece of advice. Another question that often comes up when talking to summer students, you know, what's the weather like in Philadelphia? If you're an international student joining us or you're joining us from other parts of the country, Philadelphia does have pretty hot summers. Definitely expect to pack some shorts and some tank tops and some short sleeve shirts. At night, it could tend to get a little chilly, maybe in the 30s and 40s, depending. So I would just pack accordingly, but it does get pretty hot here. I would say sometimes in the 70s. If it's really hot, say August, 80s, you know, could spike up there. So definitely dress accordingly. Bring your sunblock. The great thing is that Penn is a walkable campus, so you can get to places in terms of your classes, in terms of meeting with your instructor very easily. So you don't have to, so you can basically dress for such. So that's good. Some other activities to do in and around the campus area. So if you're interested in just staying on campus and you don't want to go very far, there's lots and lots to do. For example, in front of the Penn bookstore, there's actually a farmer's market that happens every Wednesday where local farmers come, they sell produce, they sell baked goods. The smell is just amazing. And there are also regional and local new restaurants who are sort of stationed out in front of the bookstore. So it's a really great way to enjoy maybe some of the local treats and eats in the West Philadelphia area. Another place to see on campus is the World Cafe Live, which is an affiliated radio station that hosts a number of live concert events throughout the year. World Cafe Live, again, is within walking distance to Penn's campus. So if you're thinking about checking out a new band or, even some popular recording artists, you can actually see them there and you don't have to leave far off of campus. Another great new attraction here, which is accessible, is the Schuylkill River Trails, where you can hike, you can bike, they do free yoga. And it's a great way to see the city, and you're right along the water. So that's a nice opportunity for you to see the city from a different perspective. What else can I share with you here? Oh, last thing I can share is, obviously, as a summer student, maybe a lot of you, like me, are working on a budget, right? So what can you do here in and around Philadelphia on a budget? Well, again, as I mentioned, there's the Schuylkill Banks River, which is totally free. You can access that at any time. About 3 or 4 years ago, Penn built the Penn Parks, which is an accessible park facility, which is about 100 acres of free open space. You can picnic, there's a soccer field, just anything and everything you could do in an open space is accessible downtown. But it's really easy to get to from campus. It's called Penn Park, and it's actually really beautiful. The Morris Arboretum, as I mentioned, with your Penn card, you can actually get in for free. And also the Archaeology Museum, which is right here on Penn's campus, is also free. So they have a number of great exhibits that you can check out. Again, you don't have to pay a thing. You just flash your ID card and you're in. I mentioned First Fridays and also the Lucy Loop, which is the transportation services. So again, be sure to make use of that. And places to eat, I'll leave that as the last thing. There are a number of great food trucks in and around the campus area. I can't say enough, I should say, about the food truck options that are in University City. Everything from Greek food to French pastries to French crepes, vegan dishes, vegetarian, Italian, Chinese. There's lots and lots to eat and explore upon just here on campus, and you can actually do it by not spending so much money, which is great. So that seems to be our time for today. If you have any questions at all, feel free to text them in to the number below. And we hope to see you on campus soon. Well, it looks like all of you have all the answers that you need. Again, we want to thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to visit our website, or please feel free to call our recruitment office. We'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, and we look forward to seeing you this summer. Take care.